You are going to love this episode. This is a very cool SEO trick. This was shared on the search engine optimization subreddit. This is something that I was impressed by and something that I used to do and I haven't done for many years. And I'm like, oh yeah, oh my gosh. So I'm going to share what this SEO did on the SEO subreddit. The link will also be shared in the description for this episode. And then I'm going to share what I did, which is very, very similar to what this SEO did. So this is called building links for the future. Can it be done? And here's what it says. This is an interesting one. Usually when I build links, I build them for a client who wants to rank higher for a specific keyword that's usually hard to hit in the present. They usually want it ASAP, as soon as possible. And this client wanted to hit a keyword for an upcoming event. This client was no different. They're a smaller business event that runs a yearly forum. The keyword was something like ABC Forum 2022. As you would imagine, they were attacking things too late. They asked me to build links 2 months before the event. At the time, the keyword was super difficult and high volume. This is an event that happens every year. I ran the following year though. I took a look at the keyword stats for the following year. 0 volume, something like 4 or 5 difficulty. No one searches for the next year. Not really. Why would they when the current year's event hadn't even happened? Now, there's about 6 major forums that all vie for the top spot. All well-known and well-funded, some headed by familiar faces. I suggested we start building for the next forum right away instead, essentially building links for that keyword that at the time had no volume. Remember, I knew that volume would shoot up into the tens of thousands just as it did every single year in the year of the event. So I built for the future. I built a backlink profile targeting a future keyword, and it absolutely worked. When the volume started to pick up for the keyword in question in the year and Google realized people were searching for it and started ranking websites for it, we hit the top right off the bat in the prime booking season. Whereas the competitors only started building links in the year of the event, we stayed pretty much at the top of the entire year, and in that year, we built for the next year. It all sounds super obvious, but a lot of businesses have it ingrained in them that they should logically target keywords with high volume, because that's what people are searching, right? But if you know people will soon target a word that isn't being searched yet, you can get a huge jump on the competition. The point is, if you start targeting year-sensitive or similar keywords too late, you'll leave yourself too much work to do. Whereas with enough time, you can build early and land well. The forum was related to business investment, so creating content and finding websites wasn't an issue. It was just about having patience when you're essentially trying to rank for a keyword with 0 volume, but knowing that volume will 100% shoot up. So a recap, this person's client, they wanted to rank that year for this big event that was happening in their space. It was 2 months before the event and they wanted to rank for that event. And this SEO said, listen client, this is going to be too difficult. Let's shoot for next year because no one is targeting next year's keyword. They will next year, but we can get a jump up on everybody by doing it now. And so even before the current year's event had happened, they were targeting the next year's event. And when next year's event rolled around, there they were. And at that same time, they also started targeting the year after. And that's really smart. And so I did something like this too. This was back, and I can't believe I haven't done it again. And I'm going to start doing this again. I'm going to start doing this with all sorts of keywords. But this is what I did. So I was always a fan of SEO trends to look out for in the next year. And these articles would pop up all over the place around November or December, sometimes October. So for example, SEO trends to be aware of in 2025. And you'll see these for years. And I would read them. As an SEO, I would read them. And one year, I'm like, you know what? I want to rank for one of these articles. And you see the top people in SEO going after them. You see Neil Patel. You see Backlinko. You see SEMrush and Ahrefs and Moz and everyone. And I'm like, I want edwardsturm.com to be there. So this is what I did. I wrote an article in the middle of 2017, around like May, so like late spring. SEO trends to look out for 2018. I had just started getting into blockchain at the time, so I included blockchain in there. I included AI and voice search and all sorts of things. And I wrote this article myself, SEO trends to look out for 2018. I wrote it in May of 2017. And then when people actually started searching this keyword, my article was right there. I didn't actually do any link building for it. And so at the end of the year, I didn't end up number 1 for it, but I think I ended up in the top 3 to 5. And for someone who, I had a smaller blog at the time, not that much domain authority. This was a competitive keyword. I didn't do any link building for this. I just wrote it and put it up. And when people started searching it, I was there and I was in the mix of everybody else. And I'm going to be honest, my content wasn't that great. There were better articles than mine, but I was still there on the front page with Brian Dean, with Neil Patel, with Ahrefs, with SEMrush. And I was right there just because I wrote this in May, targeting a keyword that people were going to be searching 5 months from now. If I had done link building for this, I actually think I could have stayed number 1 the entire year. But I didn't worry about it. I'm just like, I want to see if this will even work. I didn't even know if it would work. If I write this in May, can it rank for later in the year? And I didn't even know. So that's what I did, and it worked. And I'm going to do this again. Definitely. Oh my gosh, compact keywords is probably going to come out within the next month. And then I'm going to start targeting all of these year-specific keywords for 2026. That's going to be great. Oh, I'm so hyped. All right, that's what I wanted to share with you on this episode of the podcast. I read this on the search engine optimization subreddit. The link for that is in the description of this episode. When I read it, I said, this is a good one. People are going to love this. I love this. I've done this. I know it's good. So I hope you found it good as well. Thank you so much for watching. If you are watching on YouTube and if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, hey, I just want to say thank you for listening. And I'm going to talk to you again. This episode, what is this? 522 of The Edward Show, of my daily digital marketing podcast. I'm going to talk to you again tomorrow. Bye now.